Hi everyone, Alex here. I'd just like to take a moment to thank some of our patrons. Janik Helbig, malakambla, Jennifer Hamilton, Spiderweb, Dalton Floyd, Alissa Morrow, August Johannes Rian, Meredith, Liam Heigis, Rachel, Nielle Hehe, Emma, Anna Dąbrowska, River Jew, Laura Edwards, mltraxler, Dave Jiley, Ratatozsk, Erin Daly, Indecisive Geek. Thank you all. We really appreciate your support. If you'd like to join them, go to www.patreon.com/RustyQuill and take a look at our rewards. Welcome to the Rusty Quill Gaming Podcast. I'm your host and GM, Alex Newall, and with me today for a special, we have...
Ben Meredith.
Lydia Nicholas.
No one else.
I'm doing star jumps because there's room.
We've got to go back, Sasha.
Wait.
Back to the past.
No! So yes, you have managed to successfully split the party. I say you, it was me. It's all me.
It was you.
Yeah.
But I've managed to split the party beyond the realms of both time and space this time.
Not space.
No,
we're in the same space.
Exactly, we're in the same space.
Just
No,
through time.
because you've already moved somewhere since
Okay,
last
but
episode.
relatively, we were still able to go to that
Look,
space.
okay,
Quite
you've
similar
moved in
in that
time
space,
a lot, and
really.
you've moved in space not a lot, but they are now not
Yeah,
the
can
same.
you explain the cosmology? Do we still have an Earth that orbits the sun? How do
Yeah.
the planes interact with this? What's going on with that?
Give me a
right,
knowledge
actually,
cosmology.
has
You can't.
I've got
I
knowledge
guess you'll
planes.
never
I don't
know.
have knowledge
No, you
planes.
don't.
Has the Earth continued, has it kept moving, and so we're just hanging in space?
Yeah.
Like I said, you've moved in time and space. It's just very lucky. So,
Right, cool, fair enough.
I don't actually have to carry that much baggage. Basically, we have two party members who have found themselves in the ancient past with not much knowledge of that time. And last time I checked, you managed to escape.
Party!
Let's call it a party. You escaped party into the city because everyone was freaking out at Grizzop. I realised we didn't say who we were playing, obviously.
It's Grizzop freaking Amsterdam.
Sasha Racket.
Again, if people have picked this one to be a first one, you
Why?
interesting
Stop it.
choice.
Stop it. Go away.
You're very brave and I respect you.
I don't.
So-
You're a fool.
The last thing that you checked is you went to what you think is a temple of...
Artemis,
yes?
It's my god.
Why would you say think is?
That's fine.
I
So-
passed my knowledge religion check.
The last thing that happened was there was some kind of distant explosion.
Yeah.
There was.
Oh, and you're with some random geezer what only speak Latin.
But we managed to mime
Yep.
something.
Yes.
So he was going to let us in.
Yes.
And there is one last thing I want to cover before we move on.
Oh, yeah.
You've both levelled
Yes.
very, very quickly. What'd you get?
Nothing much. My existing class features got slightly better. And
You now speak.
I speak Latin, which is handy.
Because that's how Pathfinder works.
I got a bunch of skills.
I also speak Latin.
It's handy, innit?
And through the magic of like a lot of maths, I now have 4 attacks.
Yes, you took improved two-weapon fighting.
So yeah, as I level up, I automatically get a second attack. But I already had 2 attacks from two-handed weapon, two-handed attack, something, and so I took improved 2-weapon thing. But I also had the bonus thing. So essentially, after about half an hour, it turned out that I had 4 attacks.
Yeah, so what that now means is that I have a special table set aside just for calculating how Sasha hits a person. Yeah. Cool. So now we can pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
I will tell you both now, though, that you are not instantaneously fluent in Latin.
No.
Your skill rank is to reflect the fact that you take to the language surprisingly well and surprisingly quickly, but you are not fluent.
Oh, cool.
Boom.
How does the man react?
So the man immediately sort of looks over, sees what the explosion is, looks at you guys, says a bunch of stuff in panic Latin, which
we understand
about a
as...
fish!
basically seems to be something along the lines of, like, do you know what this is? Or something, like, it's fairly obvious. It's
Do a
all in
big
the hands.
shrug.
It's all in the hands.
Doing a big shrug.
He then just gestures at you to stay here, pointing at the ground, and then runs off towards it. What do you reckon?
Like, what? I mean, like, let's go, I guess. We might as well help people.
All right. Well, wow. Where did
What
the
do you
explosion
mean,
come?
wow? Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're Romans.
but why does that stop us helping them?
Because they're Romans. Evil
What?
culture.
No, I don't see it. No, what? Well, so this Temple of Artemis is evil, is it?
Well, part of an evil structure. Also, maybe the people here helped any resistance and died trying. But broadly, the whole bit of Rome where it got...
There's another explosion from a different location in the city.
Grizzop, I'm going to help people, and you can do what you want. Sasha runs towards the explosion.
Which one? The first one or the second one? They are in opposing directions.
Second one.
Second one. Okay, cool. So, give me a knowledge local. I know you have one for the layout, but...
Because I've been running around.
Well, you've been running around it in the distant future
I
as well.
got a natural one.
Good.
I will be following Sasha.
Good, Sasha, good. So,
I run off really confidently.
So, you start running off in what is the direction of the second explosion. And you guess that it's probably further out from the city from where you are. As in, like, it's probably a very large explosion very far away, rather than it being a small one very close. So, as you're running through the city, it becomes apparent that lots of people are trying to figure out what's going on. The streets, where before you could still kind of get through, are getting quite full. And mostly what you are seeing is lots of civilians all going, do you know what's happening? I don't know what's happening, no. One thing that you will notice, like you won't even need to roll for...
Good, because I did not roll good.
Yeah.
Both of you, is that it seems like, weirdly, like in the world as you've known it, you're used to a certain amount of sort of guard presence being a thing, whereas what you're noticing is there seems to be a lot of what seem to be clerics, paladin, like that kind of religious sort of people on the street rather than guards on the street. Obviously you're in the temple district, so that's part of it, but even as you start running out of the temple district towards just the edge of the city somewhere, there's still more than you'd expect compared to what you're used to. But eventually you find yourself in a trade district with lots of confused looking people, and there hasn't been enough new noise to make out where you should be going.
Right, well, I guess I'll go shopping then. What? Look, I intended to come here. What?
Where's the explode? I thought we were helping people.
Well, we are, but I just can't, like... In order to do that, I have to find the explosion, won't I? And
a
that
large
is
amount
not...
of horns start trumpeting from various parts in the city.
Massaging skull.
Are we lost?
No! Don't do lost. Just
Okay.
differently located.
At the sound of the horns, all of the civilian population start looking sort of quite aghast, panicked and so on, and then they all start sort of running back to their carts or their stalls and so on. You see, like, women picking up children and starting to run. For what it's worth, it doesn't seem to be raw panic. Everyone seems to be running in, like, certain directions and so on.
This doesn't seem good.
You're just so judgy, Grizzop.
What?
Could be fine. I don't know.
Sasha, we're in Rome pre the fall. This is not... It's not going to be fine.
Well, you know,
We should probably
after
hide.
the fall wasn't great, so
Yeah.
don't see what's different. So just get...
Cult of Heigis is still doing this horrible ritual that gets it destroyed. Should we hide?
You hear the sound of what sounds like jogging,
gonna
marching,
hide.
coming towards you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
Both of you give me stealth checks. You're getting horrendous benefits because it's so crowded.
24.
I saw what you rolled. I mean,
More than
you're hitting
24.
what, the 30s?
35.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you both hide. I'll let you pick how you want to hide, but for what it's worth, it's trivially easy because there's too much going on.
Hide in a barrel.
Go for it.
Hide in a doorway.
Both of you give me perception checks, please.
11.
Only 17.
Okay. Both of you notice, I'll go in order of things that are most obvious to least obvious. Just shake things up instead of my normal style of, gradually finding my way to, and there's a giant creature about to eat you. So, a large contingent of archers are sort of jogging right through the middle of where you are. All of the sort of civilian population get out of the way and start cheering as they go past. To Grizzop's eye, they have a certain Artemisian vibe to them as they're running along, and everyone seems quite happy and taking a moment to clap and cheer as they run past.
With the Artemisian vibe, is it the colours and symbols of Artemis that they have?
Funnily enough,
Yeah, okay, so it's not a vibe.
you notice they are slightly different to what you recognise. Like, so the symbols are similar, reminiscent's a better word, but the colouring, yes, they're all also archers. Sasha, to your right, they have a sort of rangery vibe, by which I mean a sort of Aragorn-y, cloaky kind of...
They look like Grizzop, but taller.
Mostly they look grossly out of place in the middle of an urban setting, is what they look. But yeah, they seem to be charging in the direction of what you think might have been the second explosion. There are now definitely the sounds of those horns have spread out and are continuing periodically, and you now notice a few, we'll call them legionnaires, Basically, guards are starting to usher civilians out of this street to other places, but no one is paying you any attention whatsoever.
Are they wearing like the full lorica, and it's like they look like a Roman legionnaire that you've learned about in school?
I've brushed up on my legionnaire wear since we last spoke. They look like standard legionnaires. They don't look like big special Praetorian Guard or anything like that. Just Bob the Legionnaire, basically.
Oh, look, there seem to be plenty of Artemis people around. Do you want to follow them, see what they're doing? They're your lot, aren't they?
No, but they're part of the army. Yeah, okay, they might be my lot, but they're still part of the army, and also...
Gonna wave my hand at my face.
This ain't gonna help.
Oh, yeah, fair.
We're reaching the point where the street is getting almost deserted. Again, no one is noticing you. There's far too much more important stuff going on. But the Legionnaires are actively getting people off the streets and out of buildings. They're not sort of saying, go to your homes.
So they're evacuating the area?
They seem to be evacuating the area.
Like, let's just follow them. I've got no idea what's going on, Grizzop. Also, just to point out, she has been unconscious, I think, 4 times in the last week.
Sounds about right.
I am a bit confused about what's going on, but Sasha is worse.
Yeah, all right, let's shadow and see where they're going. They'll probably take us to the explosion that we're differently located from.
Yeah, and, we're just flanking the explosion. Anyway, fine. Just go.
Okay, in which case then, are you just trying to move with the flow of civilians at this stage?
Yeah! Oh, look, my hideous child.
I thought we were going with the soldiers.
See, this is the thing. So soldiers
You said follow
going in
them.
one direction, and unsurprisingly, civilians going in the other direction.
Follow the soldiers, then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for not splitting up any further. I'd cry. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes.
Yeah!
Both of you give me another stealth check.
Only 25.
Another 24.
You're fine. So, the Artemisian lot there, running along, and then you're sort of, let's say, skitting between bits. You're not just charging behind them. Mm-hmm. What it becomes apparent is that the scale of the evacuation is a lot more urgent the further along the route that you're running is, and it becomes clear to you that they seem to be running straight to the edge of the city, like they're beelining towards the edges of the city at this stage.
They seem to be evacuating the city, but they seem to have good procedure for it. No one was that panicked. You think this happens a lot?
I don't know. We don't know. Where were the explosions?
As you're running, you see the Artemisian lot join up with another Artemisian lot and immediately start distributing themselves in squads and so on. Sasha, to your eye, I mean, this is all clerics and paladins at the moment. As the Artemisian lot are setting themselves up, a full squadron of, they seem to be Cult of Marzi. They certainly have the right colouring. They're spreading themselves out and so on.
Maybe there's a fight going on outside the city.
They might be fighting the meritocrats.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
Actually, yeah, there was a big battle, wasn't there?
I mean, but time is really long.
I don't know what date it is.
So we could be any time.
This could be the last days. It could be 50, 100 years before it all happens.
Just be a nice party. Why don't we ever get
explosions.
sent to a nice party? All the best parties have explosions, Grizzop.
Everyone give me a perception check.
12.
25.
Okay. Sasha, you're the one sort of having this discussion with Grizzop. He's facing you. Over his shoulder, you can see sort of...
Over his head, please.
Yeah, you know what, fair. Over his head. So, stretching away from you, it slopes sort of slightly downwards, and you can see a certain element of the remainder of the city spread out, and then the city walls. Mm-hmm. There were no city walls when you were here in the future. There are now. They're big.
Ooh.
There's something bigger than the city walls, though, which appears to be some kind of massive, enormous flying creature. Looks to be maybe like an eagle or something on the far side of the walls.
Is this actually a big eagle or like a dragon that's really far away?
Big eagle is the description I'll give. You then see a second one also. We're nearing the horizon at this point in terms of them,
I
but
think those might be meritocrats.
What?
That would be about Sasha's knowledge, that's the thing.
give me a knowledge nature, Grizzop.
16.
They're not meritocrats.
Are they rock?
Yeah!
Oh no, those are rocks.
No, rocks don't
Without
fly.
a K. No, without a K. R-O-C, rock, big bird.
Okay.
Big angry bird. Anyway, I've just thought,
Right.
all this is going on.
Yeah.
Looks like all of the military elements of the temples are out and about.
Yeah.
Let's go assassinate the head of the cult of Heigis. They're the bad ones. You want to help people? Let's get rid of the bad ones. Just kill them all.
Like, Sasha just, holds her head.
What?
Like, I don't know where they are.
Yeah, well, let's go find him. We're in the Temple District. Just look for a big statue of Hades. I know what his hand
So
looks
we'd
like.
run to the trade district.
So you've run towards the edge of the trade district,
okay.
really, and you're looking down on what effectively is poorer dwellings towards the wall.
Presumably, he's not there. He's out on manoeuvres.
Well, we don't know until we find... But
And
you
you
want
want to change time?
Well, for the better, yes. What are we going to do? Just sit here? What, am I going to just sit down and die?
No, I was planning to try and find a way back. That's why
How are we going to get back?
All right.
Prague doesn't even exist. There's no... I don't know where the universities are.
We travelled through time once. We just find someone that does teleport and time travel again.
As you're having this discussion, I've been applying slowly increasing penalties on that stealth check as you get into your conversation.
Yeah.
A cloaked figure towards the edges of here, they seem to be on their own, unlike in a squad, appear to have noticed you and gesture at you.
Do we explode?
They have a certain cult of Hadesy vibe insofar as black and cowled and so on, and then a couple of the Mars sort of soldier paladins, who knows, see that point and then start running over.
Let's go.
All right. I will run away from them
Where are you going to?
into the Temple District.
Okay, so give me a... I'll let you choose. Are you trying to outrun the people who are chasing you or just hide from them?
Hide.
Yeah, it's
Okay, both give me another stealth check.
a 24.
Perfect.
I like rolling 24s and stealth.
31.
Yeah, cool. So you manage to evade them,
Yeah.
and very quickly, again, you can't make out the exact conversation, but the tone of it's clear enough, which is, who cares? They're incredibly unimportant compared to what's going on, and they just bail. They leave you. You make it to the Temple District, and it is empty. I mean, there is no one. There's not even, to your eyes, really weird, Grizzop. Temples tend to leave like one person at the door, you know.
But they've emptied out.
Nothing. You are in a ghost town right now.
So what is a rock? Like, does that give us any clues about what war we're in?
It's a big bird.
But, like, where's it from? Who's it fight for? Is it evil?
The forests. Anyone who trains it. No.
Okay.
It's just a bird. It's like a horse. Horses aren't evil because they're... It's just a beast of war.
Oh, all right.
You know that rocks often, at least historically, there's not much call from in modern meritocratic life, but you know,
Dragons.
They used to be used especially for like carrying cargo's good because they can fly and carry really heavy stuff, and occasionally if you're getting very creative they would like drop troops in places, but honestly like we're heading into the mists of time. This is like ask someone telling you to describe how trebuchets work. You can do it to a point, but like
I just need to, like, have a moment where we're not running. But there's always something.
All right, well, it's empty. How long do you need?
Grizzop, I can't do this. What? Okay, right. So we're running. You want to assassinate the head of a religious order and change time, I guess, or maybe that's the thing that starts the war. Who even knows?
We don't, right?
So I was going to try and get us to Artemis because I thought that you wanted to get back and you might be able to talk to your god and there might be something they could do. But obviously you don't want that. You want to stay here and kill everyone. So, but
no.
I suppose I could help you kill some people, but only the bad ones, really. Right. I mean, surviving seems quite top of the list, but that is hard because where are we? Does London even exist? They won't have the tunnels yet, will they? Oh dear.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? Don't think about it. It's too big. We've been thrown through time. We saw a god, or we beat a god. Okay, just don't. What's in front of us? What do we need to do? I was thinking about the most useful thing that we could do, and the cult of Hades is what has mucked this all up. So I thought, let's try and get rid of them while we have the chance. Okay, if we want to get back, then sure, we need to find a wizard or something, and I don't know where to find those. I know where to find Hades. They might be in that Temple of Hades, or at least they'll have plans, maybe ritual stuff. Maybe we can tell people, if you don't think the people in Rome are actually evil and it's just Hades, then let's spread the word, let's ruin their plans. But we can't just stop.
What?
We need to keep going.
Why? We could just sit here, have a nice cup of tea.
Well, they don't have...
Let's go stab some people. I understand stabbing
Yeah,
people.
exactly. Do what you know, right?
oh no.
Just, let's go break into a building, steal some stuff,
Okay.
and maybe kill the people in there if they deserve to be killed, okay? Is that
Okay.
right? I'm not
Yes.
just going to start murdering
Sasha's
people willy-nilly.
Going to her happy place.
Okay.
Okay.
We might go, as we're walking about, we might go in through the roof, right? If they've left the window open.
Yeah.
Old buildings, they've got, like, holes for where the smoke comes out, so we could get through there.
Yeah. They might have gargoyles.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, well, yeah, you talk to them, I guess, because that's security, that might be a problem. Anyway.
They're always friendly.
Try and find the Temple of Heigis.
Sure. So, can I get a knowledge local and a knowledge religion I'll allow on this one?
15 for me on religion.
31.
So,
On
knowledge
local.
religion, as you're going, okay, right, where would I put it? Sasha basically goes, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, it is a large, austere-looking building, which, unlike all the others, which I said were unusually close, this one stood off to, slightly departed side.
Ominous.
It has
they
a
just
large...
use a lot of sulphur in their
It has a
rituals,
large
Grizzop.
fountain in front of it,
Smelly
which
temple.
Grizzop you recognise is depicting
Blood.
some of the story of Persephone.
Yeah.
Effectively, the woman who was kidnapped, the seasons, etc., etc., etc. Having a quick glance again from Grizzop at the outside, yes, it's quite austere looking, but you also notice that the iconography is less skulls, wraiths, demon, hellfire, etc., and it's more kind of muted, and it seems to have a lot more to do with, again, the seasons. You notice like there is a thing that's literally like spring, summer, autumn, winter mural thing spread across the top. It seems a lot more abstracted than let's get a bunch of skeletons together as
They're not necromancers.
They don't seem to be necromancy central,
Yeah.
effectively.
I mean, it seems quite pretty.
Yeah, sure.
It's somber, but in a kind of muted, kind of calm way.
Are we sure they're evil back now? Or is evil something that happens because of the meritocrats later?
Again, thinking, I don't know. But we know they caused the problem.
Do we?
As far as I know, the meritocrats reacted to what they did.
What if they didn't, though?
Well, I don't know what you want.
I slightly want to have a sit down and a cup of tea.
As you say that,
4 times in a week she's been unconscious. 4 times in a week.
oh, I'm seeing how far I can push this now. As you're saying that, the horns finally stop. And then both of you, I'm not going to get a perception roll, see what appears to be effectively like a beam of golden sunlight shooting upwards from the centre of the city.
Oh, they've got a sky laser. At least it's not blue.
Not downwards from the sky, like other way around.
Okay.
As you're
it's like
looking...
a Minecraft beacon.
Yes!
Yeah,
There we go.
There we go.
As
There's
you're
a
looking,
shared reference point.
it starts to balloon outwards at the top. It's really pretty.
Oh,
It's
nice.
kind of golden and shimmering and
this
so
is
on.
Apollo, innit?
And it starts to expand outwards in what appears to be making a enormous dome. But again, it's coming from the centre.
I think we're in the middle of a giant magical war and I've got absolutely no idea what's going on, so let's go and stab some people.
Okay.
But only if it turns out they're definitely bad.
All right, we'll try and find some stuff that I hope you can read Latin.
Weirdly enough.
Oh, you too.
Something about the time dilation. It did things to my linguistic brain.
It's fine. It's actually the telepathic field that Eldarian used to carry around, and she was bigger on the inside as well. That deals with a lot of
Oh
this.
yeah, wink wink.
I've got a little fish in my ear.
Little elfy fish.
So what are you actually doing short term? Short term.
Going into the
Hades.
Temple of Hades.
Okay. The doors are open. They're not even like unlocked. I mean, they're literally open to the outside as it stands.
Is it not Pluto though? Because we're in Rome.
Maybe.
Okay, but there's no like. Actually, is there a Latin inscription
Is
above
there
the door?
a dog with big floppy ears and
Door?
and
So,
a
you know what?
mousy owner boss? I don't know.
Latin language you can make out. Yeah. Definitely has Pluto in there. I mean, you're really scratching your brain because you did have to study like a little bit here and there as how it
mean, they're the
affected
swear
religion.
words, I assume.
It tends to.
Yeah.
You get the sense of something like Pluto, forever, trust.
Doesn't
That's as much as you get. But now you think about it, it's like actually on the Artemis side, yeah, you weren't seeing the word Artemis or the name Artemis written anywhere. Yeah, the names will be different here. I've just been giving you the ones that you know until you realised.
Wait, are they the same gods? Or are they replaced? They're the same entity? Because this is Pluto. right?
Oh, all right, Grizzop. Just stop thinking. Yeah, all right. Let's just keep going on.
No, it's just relevant because you said, like, they're my lot. They might not be my lot. They might just look like my lot. They're not Artemis. They're, whatever Rome's version of it is.
People change their names all the time, Grizzop.
But they
That's
could be
pretty
replaced.
standard.
There might be new gods or old gods. I don't know.
Well, in which case, do we know that these lot are evil?
Well, we know that the spawn Heigis, which is the equivalent god, based in Rome. We know that Rome.
I know a lot of people that were quite nice, and then their kids were
let's find.
quite like
Okay.
that.
Well, let's do the thing where we go inside and find
murderous.
Well, let's find some
Yeah.
info. Just
Let's go and let's just go inside.
yeah.
As you're
let's-
saying this, the dome has finished and reached the edges of what you can see.
Oh, Grizzop, I don't know what's going on. And this just keeps muttering and wandering in.
Yeah. Me
Okay.
neither.
Sneaks.
So heading in,
Yep, sneaks.
Oh, it's also sneaks,
go
obviously.
for the sneaks.
Aww. 13.
Only 37.
So heading in,
Ridiculous.
It just vanishes.
it is architecturally speaking, it's as I described. On the inside, anything that isn't the actual building is quite simplistic. It is not grandiose. There isn't a large atrium. There's quite a small atrium actually. And well, here's the thing: is
I've been looking at houses so often. I'm looking for a house, and the whole it's quite a small atrium actually.
the left wing is actually got a slight amount of substance. No, so there are a number of doors leading off, all which are open, and straight away you see what appears to be some kind of waiting room on one side, and on the other side it appears to be basically a room full of a cloakroom with a bunch of cowls hung up
Are there
and
any
cabinets and stuff.
pamphlets that say you've decided to sign up, you're curious about the cult of
So there
Pluto?
is a large-
These are our tenants.
There is a
The Alpha course, or rather the Omega course.
There is a large tablet on one side of the atrium which is up on the wall. It is elaborated on, and it does have a bunch of Latin in there. Give me a linguistics check if you want to start making out what it says.
Yeah.
While Sasha's deciphering that, I'm going to detect evil.
Go for it.
I do.
I know.
I rolled a natural 1.
Ah.
My linguistics check, if I'm doing that, because that's an int, that will be 4. Yeah.
Okay. So, Grizzop, you detect no evil.
Okay.
Sasha.
Yep.
Blah, 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 Pluto. Yep. Blah, 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 Pluto. I think I'm getting this. Blah, blah, blah. You make out the words Pluto, and you're pretty certain the words death at one point. In what is probably like 2 A4 sides of modern type of literature. You make out the words Pluto and death a couple of times.
Ah, I see. Well,
Get anything?
no.
I'm going to take a break there. And welcome back.
Yay.
So, I am happy to get a little bit metagamey here and say there are no people in here to discover you.
Cool.
So I'm happy to just say if you want to have an explore,
Yes.
rather than doing roll,
There's
we'll be here all day.
One thing I'd really like to do, which is I would imagine there's probably some form of large statue of Pluto in this building.
Okay.
I would like to concentrate detect evil on that because that allows me to actually get the aura of an object, and if it's a focal point of worship, then hopefully some of the aura of the worshippers would
Give me
bled into.
another knowledge religion.
Not very smart. 11.
11. Okay.
Oh, little Grizzop.
10 ints. Not.
Well, also, it's not his religion. I mean, you can't learn all of them. That'd take ages. So, going round, you do find that there are a few sort of like stylized depictions of things. And then you start noticing there's a conspicuous absence of Hades. You keep seeing this sort of Persephone figure, and you notice a trend which is they always seem to be looking to someone or something that is normally implied to be elsewhere. So, I don't know, she's looking up. And if you look up, there's no ceiling there. It's like a
Okay.
skylight and so on. Or she's looking off to the side and it's out of a window, but it's reaching out to someone that is not there.
I'll focus on the Persephone statues.
You detect no evil. I'm going to run on a little bit of, as you are wandering around, what you start finding
Anything
is...
expensive.
I mean, yes, what you start to
habits.
find is what appears to be, and to your eye, Sasha, looks kind of like funeral parlour stuff. You see, like, tables with, like, shrouds and so on. Obviously, you're used to things being a little bit more advanced, so this is a little bit more, you know, jars with salves rather than like actual embalming that's going on and so on. And then you find a stairway leading down. Ooh. There was at least one body sort of in preparation on a what's the word?
Slab?
Yeah, let's call it slab. I don't like the word,
slab.
but I'll use it. And they're there.
Trestle table.
They're
Corner
there,
table.
seemingly ready to
Trolley.
be
Occasional table.
Yeah.
They're
I
there.
use it occasionally because people don't dial that often. Sorry, Alex.
There appears to be someone there ready to be shrouded, but not actually like sort of wrapped up anywhere.
Man, they left in a hurry.
Yeah.
Maybe we should leave.
Well, no, I don't think we can. That thing's probably a shield, right?
Right.
So the city's probably being attacked.
So they evacuated the civilians.
Yeah, and now they're defending the city.
Well, we probably won't find anyone here to assassinate then.
No, but we can have find incriminating things.
Looks for something expensive.
Both of you give me perception checks for just searching for, quote, incriminating things or expensive things.
Oh, wait. Can I take 20? We have the time, and we're not under threat.
If you want to take 20, I'll allow you to take 20.
I really want to find something that's like,
That's
ho,
fine.
ho, ho, we are bad.
Yep.
I rolled 24, so...
Would you
need
like to
to.
take 20?
No.
Okay. I am going to do something...
Does that mean I get to do that 10 times while
Yes.
he's...
So I'm going to do something fun, which has never come up because of the way we play the game, which is in you taking 20, which is a perfectly valid decision, you get interrupted because you're doing it for so long.
Sure.
I will get to that. So, as you're doing the searches...
Is it interrupted by Sasha saying, this is boring?
So things that happen sort of in order. Sasha, you do find there's this massive pot of coins.
Ooh.
And then as you're looking around, it's like, these are the ones that they've putting on the eyes of that geezer.
Death
So there's
coins.
a big old, like, and by big old I mean like shoulder-high pot full of coins.
Puts them in a bag of holding.
You literally cannot pour it at first. You are going to have to be scooping them
Just scoop
and
a few.
taking the time.
That'd be handy. We want to get a sandwich. I don't know when the last time we ate was. I think it's before we went to...
It
was
is before we
definitely
went.
before we went.
Everyone
to
else
another
just had a
plane.
lovely warming broth
Although-
Yeah.
a few thousand years in
Also,
the future.
to be fair, we only spent like 5 minutes in that horrible death dimension because we were just running around in combat
True.
rounds for the entire time.
We did have lunch.
It was
before
like 30
that.
seconds.
I did actually make a point of having
So
a good
we only
lunch.
ate about 2 hours ago. It's great.
Oh my word!
Busy day.
So, yeah, you are able to keep scooping them out. The other things that you think are probably valuable, the most
big and heavy.
valuable here, like per weight,
Yep.
is the salves. But the problem is they're probably going to go off.
Yeah.
Everything else is like you could steal, I suppose, like some velvet-y cloth and stuff.
No,
but
no. I mean,
honestly, there's not much here.
like the coins will be useful if she needs to make a new life in Rome, but like she doesn't know life that Sasha wants that she would live with happily, whether here or in the future, involves velvety cloths.
I agree. I think that's fair. So, on to Grizzop side of things.
Yeah.
Grizzop logic. This is all really rubbish. Dungeons! Yes, dungeons!
Evil things, they keep them in
Always
the
keep them
basement.
in the dungeon. So you head down into the basement. It's really cool down there.
Literally.
Radical.
Really cool.
Wicked. Tubular.
It is both dry and the temperature is low. What you notice down there
Is wine?
is, I'm afraid,
Corpses.
mostly a large number of bodies very respectfully laid out.
It's a morgue.
Yeah.
Know what a morgue looks like?
Yeah, it is. You recognise it from, like, I mean, you will have
Morgues.
served some time in the Artemisian equivalent in your day. It's a cool house.
Also, we have hospitals in our time, so morgues.
It's a cool house that's laid out. You do notice...
Super cool.
You
Look at
do
these cool corpses.
You do notice, though, there is something new which you've never seen before at the very far end of it.
An evil portal
So there is a raised dais.
with
okay.
evil on it.
On the
Dais?
dais,
Is that pronounced dais? Sorry.
on the dais is a slab. There is
Evil
a body
slab?
on the slab.
Evil body.
There is what appears to be large, elaborate layout of rituals around that slab.
Ooh.
We're talking like
Evil ritual?
not what's it called? A pentagram is a specific thing.
Pentacle.
But do you know what I mean? Where it's like those floor designs, but I don't mean a pentacle because that's a specific type of one.
Like, do you mean just like a chalk circle?
Basically, large, elaborate,
Circle.
permanent floral designs are inlaid into the ground around this slab.
Are they mosaics?
They are not.
Oh,
They
well,
are
that's a
large.
Roman thing,
I know
though.
they are
Ugh.
large. They are scrolled. They appear to have gold inlaid in them. There are large sort of hanging velvet and stuff, incense and so on. In the same way that all the rest of this place was very kind of low key, This is like posh.
The rest of the place was Loki. This place is Thor.
In terms
You
of...
don't want the bodies to thaw.
Give me one last knowledge religion. I know I've got a lot of you, but you are wandering around someone else's temple.
Do also have spellcraft.
That could work too. I'll let you pick one or the other. You can't use them and combine them into a bonus.
Does it look like a divine thing or an arcane
Divine.
thing to me? It
Divine.
looks divine.
Divine.
Fine, then I'll do religion. 19.
What you find is... I mean, you know that this is more to do with healing than anything else as a layout circle.
Not evil! Dang. Unless it's necromantic
What
healing.
it could be... You've never seen it before. It could be
Don't
to
be
do with, like, resurrection stuff or reviving stuff, things like that.
But in like a... We're
Evil
using
way?
the resurrection thing or a necromancy thing?
I'm going to give you this for free because I'm assuming that you do it. You detect no evil.
Yeah. So this is obviously a posho being like, I died, but I had don't die insurance because we have don't die spells.
I mean, possibly...
Do I find, like, how much is it, 20,000 gold's worth of diamond dust?
So you're asking about...
Well, sorry, the actual metagamey thing is, are there ritual components for a resurrection spell here?
Possibly. I mean, you notice that there seems to be this very sparkly dust that's in the grooves around the slab in such a way that, really irritatingly, it'd probably take you ages if you wanted to collect it up and keep for
No,
later.
I don't. But if I like had some idea of like, yeah, they use like diamonds and stuff, and this looks like sort of diamonds, you know.
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
You didn't roll high enough to be certain. Yeah, possibly.
Okay, but I've heard about that kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, this could be.
That's what led you to that as a conclusion.
Cool. Okay.
However, as you're doing that, both of you hear the sounds of movement outside the temple. It is someone not being especially quiet. For Grizzop, it's mostly as you're coming up out of the thing going, you hear the distinct sounds of someone moving around outside, not quietly.
Sasha is...
You have not finished searching the whole building, to be perfectly clear with Grizzop. You just went to
Yep.
spookiest place you could find.
Yep.
Sasha's going to be positioning herself like with her back to where the door, the door's there and then the person's there, and then so she'd flank whoever comes through the door. Or
Okay.
stab them in the neck, whatever. The happy place.
Okay.
Can we see the person?
Both of you give me perception checks. I'm demanding lots of rolls from you today. There's only 2 of you. You've got to roll for 4.
Yes, 25.
11.
Sasha, yes. Grizzop, no, just because of the angles involved.
Yep.
How do they look nice and friendly?
What you see is... I get to use the word for the first time. You see a young-ish, so we're talking like 30s.
Youngish, that's not that special a word.
Young-ish. I've never used it before. You see a young-ish man wearing a toga.
Human.
Toga! First time I get to say that word. And he is walking past the Temple of Hades, paying neither of you any mind, but he does have a surreptitious air about him. He's prematurely balding, and he walks with a sort of decent limp. He seems to have like a staff or cane or
Terribly
something.
dangerous. Old men or what? Like,
Yeah,
no, you
that's
can't.
it.
We can't.
Has he got
take...
any bottles on him?
Yeah.
He doesn't appear to be in a prime physical specimen.
Oh no, that's even more dangerous. That is. Whoa.
But
stay
he's
away
looking
from that.
surreptitiously, and he does take a moment to sort of glance at the Temple of Hades to see if there's anyone there. It's too dark on the inside for him to see you, but he is clearly doesn't want to be seen wherever he's going, and then he's carrying on.
Shall we get him?
What do you mean, get him?
Well, he looks like he's doing something he shouldn't be, so either he's...
So do we.
No, I know. So either he's an ally or an enemy.
That's true of everyone.
I love that the party's now a fascist and an anarchist, just forced together. They're the regular odd couple.
Hey. I mean, I could do with a friend. All right.
Oh, let's go get him.
You do the introductions. No, wait. You want to kill everyone?
No,
I'll do it. Like,
All right.
Sasha steps out
With or without daggers in hand?
without.
Okay.
Hello-us. Maximus. Friendus.
2 things.
Amigo.
One, if there was inspiration, I'd give you some, but I can't in the system. I need to know languages that people speak other than Latin, which is
French.
learning. French,
Goblin, English, Dutch, and Latin.
Goblin, English, Dutch, and... Okay, we got not a lot to work on. So the...
French quite similar.
Yeah, but if I'm not allowing...
Did you want us to say Greek? Did you want us to say ancient Greek?
I mean, I'm just saying, if
Well,
you'd have known ancient Greek...
It's
Well,
Artemis.
If Zolf or Bertie had been here, it would have been fine.
Well, whose fault is that then, Mr. I'm going to have a bunch of characters? You picked the wrong one to bring
Yeah,
to ancient
sorry.
Rome.
Need a better loadout.
Hello-us.
So the man sort of turns, stops. He kind of looks like he's kind of puffing himself up a bit, and then clearly notices that Sasha isn't wearing robes and stuff and is dressed really weirdly, and then he just sort of goes, gives a wave.
Thumbs up. Wait, then, doesn't know if that's a polite gesture. And then, then just looks at her hands.
He kind of looks
and
around.
Then panics.
He kind of looks around a bit and starts talking to you in Latin,
How much of it do I get?
You know what? I'm not going to do this on rolls because otherwise we'll have you rolling for every single sentence, and I'll destroy myself.
Yeah. Well, you could just make us instantly fluent.
So what he does is he kind of gestures and so on. You get the impression of he's sort of trying to play it a little bit casual and being like,
I'm just walking around.
me just walking along, just like you're walking, just a pair of people.
Yep.
Not looting, just walking round.
Me us, I us, from us, away us, help us, help us.
Help us,
Confused
us.
Help us.
Us confused us.
He kind of looks at you, kind of... Okay. Gives a nod and then sort of hobbles over to you, and then he's like... He gestures at you, what do you need?
Friend us?
I'm gonna put my bow down,
Mm-hmm.
well, holster in whatever fashion, and walk out as well.
You are still in
Hideous
disguise.
child.
Are you making a point of hiding yourself properly and relying on that sort of bowed head look, etc.?
No, I am still wearing the hood and stuff, but I'm looking at him in the face, so he can probably see my massive red eyes.
The not elderly, I can't stress that enough, because, they're evil. We've established that prior, old
Dangerous.
people equal extremely
They're
dangerous.
just dangerous. Maybe I wasn't evil.
Danger doesn't mean evil.
I'm explicitly not evil. I'm quite dangerous.
He's looking at Sasha and he's sort of seeming interested. He looks at Grizzop, then looks again, and you see a sort of intake of breath and a little bit of a, okay. He backs away just a little bit and sort of gestures at him and gives you vague sort of pantomime for, is he sick, is he contagious, that kind of thing.
What?
Smiles. Just points at a smile and says, and goes over and hugs Grizzop performatively and then waves again.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I say in English.
So he comes over and he starts examining Grizzop, not like invasively, but from a distance, starts peering and paying proper attention.
Let's take the hood off.
He looks
Goblin!
immediately shocked,
Goblin!
and then his face lights up and he starts hobbling over really quick and he's like, oh! And then he really hesitantly is sort of reaching out to just have a look at you, basically.
Alright, don't make this weird. Who are you? Oh, wait, I showed him that.
Who is Saurus?
Eus.
Name us.
Namus.
Name us.
Roman? Romanus?
Name us?
What else? Greekus?
Points at herself. Sasha. Who's asking?
Draconus?
Yes! He
All right,
doesn't say
Einstein.
yes, he just goes, He kind of looks excited and then he just goes, so,
Sasha.
who's asking?
Yes.
Who's asking?
Yes.
Who's asking? Who's asking? Cicero. Cicero, who's asking?
I think it's pronounced Kikero, actually, but
My world! My rules! I think Kikero sounds weird.
It does sound
You're
weird.
absolutely right. So he's going to say Cicero because I prefer it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Grizzop.
Grizzop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Sasha.
asking?
Yes.
Grizzop.
Yeah.
He kind of takes a moment, says a bunch of stuff in Latin, and then starts gesturing for you to be maybe
Yeah.
running away.
Oh, no, well...
There was a time thing, and then another plane.
Hades. Is that anything? No, Pluto.
He sort of gives a nod and then points at the temple
Yeah,
behind you.
Pluto.
But then he starts sort of patting you and then sort of shaking his head. And he's like, no, and then gestures. They've gone. They've gone.
Yeah.
Pluto.
I'll make evilly faces.
He looks really confused.
Try and mime a big spell, and then
Boom.
He kind of turns and points at the dome that's shining out of the middle of the city over the...
No, not from outside. From inside.
What? I don't understand what you're saying now, Grizzop.
Evil. The evil of Hades. Or Pluto, or whatever.
Suddenly his face lights up and he sort of grabs Grizzop by the shoulders, says a bunch of stuff in Latin, and then you do make out one word which you're pretty certain, it is literally Draconus is in there, and he's just grabbing you and saying blah, 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 Draconus.
Draconus good or Draconus bad?
He takes a moment and he's like,
Draconus different?
he's really struggling to kind of gauge what you guys want.
I don't understand.
There is now...
Are you trying to work out if he's on the same side as a dragon?
Oh, yes.
But
Well, the dragons are the meritocrats.
As
He
you guys are
doesn't know.
talking, there is suddenly what sounds like a very loud cheer from the walls of the city. Obviously, it's a lot of people very far off, but some kind of big raucous cheer is going up at the moment.
Do that or a football match.
Yeah, like that's the kind of vibe that we're going for.
Cool. They were actually all the rocks were playing Quidditch.
I would watch that. I would watch the heck out of that. But yeah, he's gesturing and then he just goes... He starts resorting to literally mime because it's not working.
Sasha also speaks sign language.
I'm going to give you a bonus. Could you both please give me a linguistics check, because this is something that's complex and I can't just fluff.
I only rolled a 7, so that's just 11.
Okay.
I have a 1 in this. 10.
He basically, using a lot of pantomime, seems to be implying that the dragons are bad.
Yeah, well.
He is going to them or something.
Grizzop, you can't just ask people if the people attacking them are good or bad.
I don't want he was looking surreptitious. Also, but he's going to the dragons, so maybe we'll go with him. We can talk to the meritocrats.
He's starting to sort of shuffle a little bit off and be like gesturing you to come with.
That's something to do. Let's follow the man.
Yeah.
What did he call himself? Kicks?
Cicero.
Not
Sorry, Cicero.
Cicero.
To be clear, the name means nothing to either of you.
No, it's just a bloke's name.
Just a bloke's name.
Yeah.
So he starts hobbling and kind of gesturing for you. He's clearly hurrying, and you notice that when he's looking surreptitiously, he's also paying a lot of attention to the walls, like where most of the noise is coming from, more than anything else.
Hood back up, disguise back on.
Okay. Yeah, he's pulling you along, and it becomes quickly apparent that he is very concerned with whatever's going on at the walls, and he's pulling you towards what appears to be the temple of... Oh, yeah, Mars. Seems to be pulling you towards the Temple of Mars.
Sasha does what I did and backs up.
Mm-hmm. This one, unlike the Temple of Pluto, it was, with doors open, seems sort of locked up. He's hobbling up to the front door, looking left and right, whacks it on the front door a couple of
Sasha
times.
hides
Are you sure this is a good idea,
when
Cicero?
you turn around.
He looks around, no one turns up. He then reaches into his pocket, pulls out a knife and something else. What you notice, Sasha, is them's primitive lockpicks.
Oh, we're back in.
The text moved a lot since then, but he's kind of jimmying it, and
Sasha comes over, taps him on the shoulder, pushes him very gently out of the way.
He's like, no. He's gesturing something along the lines of, no, it's okay, it's okay.
Sasha takes her tools out.
He's interested.
And then she gives it a go.
It's trivially easy.
Yeah.
Like, it is trivially easy. You're not going to have to roll for it.
Oh, all right.
Doors open. It's not barred. It's a primitive lock.
This how make friend. Language, no. Skill, yes.
Cicero kind of looks at you and goes, nice, okay. And he kind of gestures you in.
Does he give a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Alex says, gesturing with his thumb sideways.
Work out which is the positive one.
I know. And I'm not going to answer because I studied classics and there was too much data in both ways.
Pop culture, it's still thumbs up is good.
So he comes in, pushes the doors wide open and strides into the middle of the room as best as he can and gestures for both of you to come.
Yeah.
Follows.
Right, breaking into the cult of Mars. Cool.
I like it.
This is something.
Yeah, I'm pro this. Wait, Grizzop,
Maybe they're the bad ones.
is this evil?
What? Oh.
Is it?
Give me detect evil.
Yes.
You're detecting a sense of evil in the room.
Nothing yet, but it might not be generalised. It can be concentrated on a specific person or object.
Yeah,
so.
you would
Like
know,
a
for instance,
smell.
that if you had a room of 10 people and one of them was evil, once they're gone, you're not going to detect an evil room. That kind of thing.
Depends how strong their aura is, because it can linger.
Like a
weeks.
smell.
Yeah, if they're
Like a smell.
if they're like
Like
a
a
demon
smell.
and stuff like that.
Undead, actually.
Oh yeah, undead's fair. Actually, undead's fair.
Very much
you
like
are
a
detecting
smell.
that. He's gesturing for you to sort of take in the room and just keep saying Draconos over and over because it's the only thing that seems to have translated.
Maybe the cult of Mars is actually
Dragons?
the
So
meritocrats
you
all
see
along?
in the middle of the room a very large statue of what appears to be Mars, basically kicking the ass of the entire world.
Just a big globe.
It's
Kick it, but it's
literally
shaped like a bum.
there is
It looks like he's playing football.
there is what appears to be like a small diorama landscape that he is striding across, bigger than everything else, and he is literally in the middle of a fight with what appears to be a dwarf, a human, and probably a centaur, and he's using two of them to beat up the other one. Like, it's flattering is beyond what this is. Gratuitous.
Centaur is an improvised weapon.
Someone has taken the time and the hundreds of hours it would take to chisel a line of spittle from the centaur's mouth and a tooth on the end because Mars is kicking ass. Like, it's over the top.
It is the statue to one of their gods in the main temple in their culture, so fair.
Yeah, it should be pretty flattering.
You see another one of those tablet things on the wall with all of the words, and...
Do we get Mars? Mars war? Mars war.
Depends on the check, but no.
Tasty.
As you're looking around, Cicero's like, comes over and basically like keeps pointing up at the ceiling.
Look at the ceiling.
So there's an enormous fresco.
Or a mosaic.
It's not a mosaic. You've already had a mosaic, okay? You already had one, you just didn't pay attention. You ran away from it.
We're in the middle of an orgy!
So, this fresco across the top depicts, firstly, a recognisable sort of impression of Rome in the centre. Okay? But it's a Rome that's beset by enemies, you know, there's barbarians at the gates, and it's all very, like, unflattering and jingoistic. Shocker. Rome.
Well, anywhere.
Any city.
Yeah. So there's this picture of Rome, and it's in trouble. And hovering over Rome is a massive dragon. And mostly what it appears to be doing is burning everyone apart from Rome. A lot.
So, was there like a Rome meritocrat? Or...
I don't know.
And then Cicero kind of points up at it and he's just like, Draconis, and he looks really angry and just put out by it.
Yeah, Draconis.
Well, it looks like things might not be quite as murder everyone in Rome simple as you thought, Grizzop.
Okay.
Good, okay, glad that's done. Sorted. All right, had that conversation. Good.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, it's got a lot more complicated. Are the meritocrats these dragons? Were there two lots of dragons?
I just said, what if there's two dragons? Don't steal my two-dragon idea, Grizzop.
No, all right, sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Good
Two dragons.
As you are saying this, a new set of horns start blowing throughout the city. Their tone is different. Cicero goes,
Where us?
openly pale,
Oh, dear us.
and then starts legging it out of the Temple of Mars as best as he can, gesturing for you to come along.
Follows. Yep.
And I think I'm going to end the episode there.
New friend.
Yeah, interesting. Some revelations.
If we can't get back and tell everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the ideal here is that I provide you with all of the info that everyone has ever wanted.
Yep.
And then never let you tell anyone.
Yeah.
That's my dream. But we will be
Good thing you're in
returning
charge
to
of the universe.
Yay.
we will be returning to ancient Rome. Don't worry about that. So until then, I guess bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Oh, it's so empty without the others. Rusty Quill Gaming is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike 4.0 international license. Today's episode was directed by Alexander J. Newall and produced by Lowri Ann Davies. To subscribe, buy merchandise or join our Patreon, visit rustyquill.com. Rate and review us online, tweet us at The Rusty Quill, visit us on Facebook or email us via mail@rustyquill.com. Join our community on the Discord via the website or on Reddit at r/rustyquill. Thanks for listening.
Wandering around, confused inside, it's a happy Rusty Quill Gaming.
I was going to say, sounds like any point in the campaign.
Yep, that's how I roll.